back to Newsroom Weekly Review. I'm your host, Chella Smith, with your Entertainment Middle East news. I'd like to start off with Shafaq News today as they report the Iraqi Prime Minister Mustafa al-Kazemi agreed on Thursday with the Commander of the United States Central Command, General Kenneth McKenzie, to hold the first meeting for the exit of foreign combat forces from their country. In a statement received by Shafaq News, the Iraqi government stated that al-Kazemi met in his office with the American military commander, and the relationship between Iraq and the United States of America and the international coalition were discussed. The two sides discussed development in the field situation and joint coordination in the war against ISIS, especially in light of significant growth in capabilities of the Iraqi forces, according to the statement. And also reporting in from Baghdad today. On Thursday, Baghdad reported an official source in the regional government said that the preparations are being made to visit a delegation from the Kurdistan region government to Baghdad early next week, headed by the regional's finance minister and including a number of ministries to discuss the mechanism for implementing the budget provision. The sources said Baghdad today, the Kurdistan regional government is making preparations to prepare a delegation to visit the capital, Baghdad, early next week, indicating that the delegation is headed by the regional's finance minister, Awad Nanab, and including a number of Kurdish members and leaders. He added, the purpose of this visit is to discuss the mechanism for implementing the provisions of the budget and the agreement that was made on it, and to deliver the regional's oil according to what was approved in the budget to the central government. Last Monday, a member of Kyrgyzstan's regional parliament, Osman Karim, confirmed that the Kurdish delegation would arrive in Baghdad soon to discuss the latest technical developments regarding the budget agreement. The Parliament Finance Committee announced that the Kurdish delegation, which was visited Baghdad soon, will end the technique dispute between Baghdad and Erbil over the oil prices. Taking a look at Mwanzi News, the Kyrgyzstan Alliance also revealed on Thursday the date of the Kurdish delegation visit to the capital Baghdad, while indicating the most important files that will be discussed during the visit. The deputy of the Patriotic Union of Kyrgyzstan, Sherwan Mirza, said, according to the official agency, that the task of the Kurdish delegation will discuss the agreement on Articles 11 of the General Budget Law, how to calculate the regional shares, and how to deliver the revenues from the region to the center. For his part, the head of the Kyrgyz Democratic Party parliamentary bloc, Vine Sabri, confirmed that the Kyrgyz delegation will arrive next week to Baghdad to discuss matters on implementing the federal budget. And a reading from Walter from Economy. The financial advisor to the Prime Minister, Mazar Salih, revealed Thursday two restrictions that curbed the banking credit system, while he confirmed the existence of 50 trillion dinars outside the control of the banking system. Salih said that the banking credit system in Iraq is subject to inherited and the complex structures, the first limitation of which is high risk and debit recovery and default in collection of loans granted, which amount to 18%, while the global standard rate of default does not exceed 3%, which drives banks to make large hedges and consistently around the capital to face credit losses due to the same quality of guarantees, which are often real estate that cannot be liquefied at default, which increases the degree of reluctance to grant cash credits or loans or help to raise credit risk by strictly using high bank interest, pointing out that the loans granted by the banks to the public or to the people still do not exceed 5% of gross domestic products, which is the lowest in the world. He added, the second limitation is the decrease in the ability of banks to mobile public liquidity leaked outside the banking system, which is a possession of the public and in a form of cash hoarding. They are deducted from the income cycle and are outside the control of the official financial system and are subject to behavior of the public in demanding cash liquidity because of the customs and traditions in the liquidity that are available cash immediately under the hands, indicating that these funds are considered in all all cases, important financial surplus and at a large cash wealth, immobile and partially conductive to private investment activity. If the right was deposited in banks, as in the case it would develop countries, it would be possible to lend it at an interest cost low through the banking system itself instead of being hoarded in homes, and at an average are estimated as hoarder supply liquidity outside the banking system today, equivalent to 25% to the gross domestic product of Iraq. He pointed out that the base of these patterns of monetary habit and our primitive deals which exceed cash liquidity outside the linking banking credit system as usurious credit apparatus has been formed in the parallel and informal financial market, as a parallel market continues to grant its usurious cash loans to the public on loan terms. Very high cost as an annual interest, and it is between 50 and 80%, which is called obscene interest. The usurious markets is a parallel, unregulated financial market that is highly exploited with high risk, but at the same time it has highly flexibility in dealing with stagnant cash liquidity by moving the usurious interest tools. And he continued, its funds are estimated, as we have mentioned above, as leak funds available outside the banking system at perhaps $50 trillion, which are important and vital funds that are currently calculating outside the control of legal or official banking systems, explaining that both scenarios, whether it's formal, organized financing, or banking market, or the parallel, informal or unorganized, usurious markets have been making it difficult for the public to obtain credit or loans, whether at a reasonable cost or conditions, especially loans that are commensurated with the average income of the general social class that needs money, pushing monetary policy by really going to direct quantitative intervention in the official credit market by adopting credit facilitation policy and supporting the markets with very easy and low-cost loans, most of which were provided within the initiative of the Central Bank of Iraq, whether in the form of housing loans through the government real estate credit apparatus, real estate bank, and housing fund, or in the form of supporting economic activity with small, medium, and large loans in various economic fields. He pointed out that due to institutional complications in maintaining communication between the public and bank is easy handling, it has become imperative to introduce auxiliary financial instruments carrying bank interest in the form of bonds that are sold optionally to the interested public of cash surplus holders, and these tools are insured from any failure in repayment by formal guaranteed institutions and granting their holders privilege even when borrowing and accepting those instruments as optional bank guarantees with credit is needed and capable of immediate liquidation in the secondary financial market such as the Iraq Stock Exchange. He concluded by saying that the liquidity obtained from these bonds will help, as they are excellent debt instruments in activating the guaranteeing of credit, especially to the small borrowers on the easy terms through banks or digital finance companies and others. They are authorized to deal with bonds by sales, purchase, or mediation on their actions are accordance with the law, and others to deal with the credit, small or microfinance. You've been watching Newsroom Weekly Review, your Middle East entertainment news. I'm Chella Smith, here on Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. Please don't forget to subscribe for early release news updates. It's been my pleasure being here with you guys this week. Have a nice weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. Take care. Make sure you join us Fridays, 4 p.m. with Newsroom Updates with Chella Smith, Entertainment News. And don't forget us on Sundays for What's Cooking in the Kitchen. You can also find us behind the scenes 24/7 on Snapchat.